Welcome to the process. It is Thursday, November 4th. I am Josh Engleman, and I'm here to break down all 5 games on the slate today. We've got another very, I don't want to say easy, but easy to digest slate on our hands after yesterday's big 11-gamer. I was not sad to not have a part of that one last night. Don't really know how anything shook out. I was away from it for, other than just knowing the results of the games. I was away from it for most of it. So, before we do anything, you guys know the drill here. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. It helps me out a ton, helps us out at Awesemo a ton. But that's really all I got from like an intro perspective. I'm getting a couple questions. Dinner was great. I have no complaints whatsoever. Wine pairings were fantastic. So shout out to Second Glass. It was a great experience all around. Great conversation with a nice couple next to us. It was fun stuff. But now we're back. It's DFS time, everybody. We got to talk some basketball. And I also need to make a change to something I see on the screen because I accidentally made the Sixers 60-point favorites against the Pistons. And while I agree that the Pistons suck, I don't know if it's a 60-point suck. 3:30 a.m. for JO26. Whew, man, I feel like I get up too early at 5:30. I can't imagine how everybody else is feeling. Happy Hassan Whiteside Day. Am I about to find out that Gobert's out today? This should be fun. Let's just dive into it then. Let's start the same place that we always start. Rise and grind. That is the start of this show. I see all the coffee cups in chat. You're in luck. It's time for said coffee. I've got mine, and I'm not going to lie, guys. I've been desperately wanting to drink this for the past half hour. This is going to be a delicious experience for me. I am craving coffee. I did not get a ton of sleep last night, so now is going to be a very good time to have some coffee and wake up. So if you've got your coffee or whatever it is you need this morning, please grab it, use it. I've got mine. Cheers, everybody. Let's start this day off right. I'm having trouble figuring out words. Yeah, Dennis, that was a great Liverpool win. I caught most of it. That Liverpool win was almost as good as Prize Picks, the presenting sponsor of this show. Use the promo code Awesemo when you sign up at Prize Picks. Get a 100% instant match deposit bonus of up to $100. Free money is the best. We got a ton of tools on the site that can help you out. Player prop tools giving you expected win percentages. It's all there for you, whether it's basketball contests, because that's what we're talking about, football. It's all sorts of stuff at Prize Picks. They're all prop-based. You don't have to worry about playing up against optimizers or sharks or anything, so go check it out. All those breadsticks at the Olive Garden. Now, you guys want to know what I ate? I'll tell you. Got to pull up my wife's Instagram because she's got it. The menu was... Oh, she doesn't have it. Do I have it? I don't know. A bunch of German food. I thought I had it and I don't. Like aggressive German food. There's a beet and berry terrine with quark cheese. If anybody's ever had anything that I've just said, well, then you'll understand what I'm talking about. Real delicious oysters to start. Good times all around. But now I'm going to open up the Muzak. Let's start that up. Good. And unmuted. Yeah, Bill. It was wild. It was good stuff. What else do we have? Some sort of like honey cake, lingonberry, something or other. I don't know. We had some schnitzel, some spätzle. What was that second course? Oh, a ravioli with bacon and spinach and apple. It was good. All right, we're getting into this slate now. Nobody wants to care about what I ate for dinner last night. Well, I guess some people do, but let's dive into it. Philadelphia 76ers at the Detroit Pistons. And as we look through both of these teams, for Philly, no Danny Green, no Tobias Harris, no Ben Simmons. So, we should have the exact same rotation or something similar to yesterday's, although you need different things against the Pistons. For Detroit, what do we know? Everybody's available. Okay, so this one should be pretty simple and take very little effort. George Niang did get up to 32 minutes yesterday, as did Matisse Thybulle, who played a team-high 38. That does help. Paul Reed didn't play. Also helpful information. Probably more likely to play today against the Pistons, but that's not important for right now. Let's figure out what we want to do with Philly. Embiid got 34. I think 32 on the back-to-back seems reasonable, particularly against the Pistons. 16 for Drummond. I'm cool with that. I'm going to take Matisse Thybulle up to 30. I'm going to take George Niang up to 30. Korkmaz played 26. I think I'm pretty comfortable with 28. Shake seems to just play 20 minutes. That's fine. Seth Curry seems to play a little bit more, though, in these scenarios, so he's going to get 33 minutes. Isaiah Joe got 4. I don't get the sense they're going to be super aggressive with minutes on this back-to-back. Maxey playing 37 and not going off is craziness. But I guess I need to go to 32 there. So I have 4 minutes left over. I think I'm comfortable just having those spill over to Paul Reed because they're not going to go to anybody else that I would want to really lock in. Now we move it over to the Pistons. Also should be pretty easy. We saw Cade Cunningham get 29 minutes in his second game, so I think that we can pretty comfortably change what our outlook was previously to a new standard for Cade. Oh my God. So 14 guys played 2 days ago. 14 guys played the day before that. Jamorko Pickett was one of those guys. I don't necessarily think that he's going to be getting a ton of time here. Oh, God, that coffee is delightful right now. All right, who's going to get the minutes haircut? Those guys are the rotation. No Diallo, Garza, Saban Lee, or Magruder. So Frank Jackson needs to come down. We're going to say 16 minutes. That gets Cade up to 29. I got 24 on Killian Hayes. Got 20 on Corey Joseph. I'm going to go 26 and 18 here. I mean, the last thing... Okay, so 2 things for Cade Cunningham. 1, obviously you shouldn't care at all how someone shoots across 14 shots. Dave, I'm not singling you out for that comment, but like I know people are still freaking out about his shooting. 2, his shot looks a little different. And that is not good, I think. We're talking about somebody that had a pretty smooth stroke coming out. So I'm not entirely sure if that's just mild injury or they've been trying to change up his shot mechanics, but it's kind of crazy. I don't know why they're doing that. Josh Jackson, 22 minutes. Now I'm gonna need to take a couple away from him there so that I stop getting him. We'll take him down to 20. And give them to someone. I have Isaiah Stewart in for 22 and Kelly Olynyk in for 26. Kelly Olynyk's played 20 minutes the past 2 games. That's great. We're going to go 24 and 24 here. So let's do something like this. I think those rotations look fine. Let's take our first look. Ooh, I got to delete old stuff. Delete old stuff. First one up. Philly. Joel Embiid season once again, but I don't think anybody's going to be surprised by that. 9,600 on FanDuel, 10-5 on DK. So if you're playing on FanDuel, obviously Joel Embiid is a really, really good play with no Harris, no Ben Simmons, no Danny Green. Maxey for 5,400, I'm going to get to if he's gonna play 32 minutes. I feel like I need to adjust this dude, but at the same time, I don't know how that I do that. Let's look at the Sixers quickly. Just this season, with no Harris on the floor. Brandon Scherzer. Cheers, man. Cheers. All right. With no Tobias on this year, Tyrese Maxey's got a 20% usage rate, 9% assist rate, and basically hasn't gotten a rebound. Now, that to me checks out because I have watched a lot of Philly in these situations where I have Maxey, and the rebounds just don't appear to be there. So I do want to give him like a little bit of a haircut on the rebounding rate. I can't change the assist rate. I can't change the usage rate. He's got a 51% true shooting. I feel like that has to get better. Like, that's really bad. Maybe it doesn't. But that's what's causing him to be at a 0.71 fantasy point per minute rate. And I don't think that it's smart to project Tyrese Maxey to have a 0.71 rate. Like, if I just flip this back to last year, same scenario. I'm just going to leave Tobias Harris off for right now because I don't think it matters. The key piece here is Tyrese Maxey, even just 53.5% true shooting, 2 more points. He's got 4 more points of usage, so he's taking a lot more shots here, bringing up that rate. But I think that makes him check out as like a 0.9 fantasy point per minute guy, and that's exactly where I have him. So I hope that Tyrese Maxey can pay me off at some point in time, is the moral of this story. Yeah, Rozier bust last night was not ideal for most people, I assume. Honestly, for the rest of Philly, though, $3,700 George Niang on FanDuel is a really nice value. $3,600 Matisse Thybulle on DraftKings is a really nice value. There's a lot to like here for the Sixers. I mean, they've got 5 or 6 guys that are going to be pretty highly involved. On to the Pistons. Sadiq Bey, $5,600 on FanDuel. Looking like the best thing you can get here. I mean, 4K Cade on DraftKings is going to continue to be popular. $3,900 Killian Hayes. That's a value play that I'd be willing to get to. Isaiah Stewart on a slate like this, $4,800 on FanDuel, $4,600 on DraftKings. So summing it up, best play on Detroit just overall, probably Sadiq Bey. Cunningham and Killian Hayes on DraftKings as value options. Isaiah Stewart on both sites. One down. 81 viewers, 45 likes, 17 minutes to go until 7 a.m. You guys know the drill around these parts. The goal is to get to 100 likes by 7 o'clock. Now we're on to Utah, taking on the Atlanta Hawks. What do we know about both teams? Q tag on Donovan Mitchell. Q tag on Royce O'Neal. Still no Rudy Gay. Let's find out what's going on with Donovan Mitchell and Royce O'Neal. I know Donovan Mitchell left the last game for a bit, then did start the second half, so I assume it's related to that. Yeah. Seems there's a chance he can miss Thursday's game. They've got a shoot around, so we're going to assume that these guys are in until they're not. Also, tweaked ankle for Royce O'Neal. Again, we can't assume that these guys are out. Did I miss something about Whiteside? Why are we assuming that it's going to be Whiteside chalk? What am I missing here? 2 people have now mentioned Whiteside. Is his price broken? I don't see anything about Rudy Gobert not playing. On the Atlanta side, no Okongwu. You're saying Rudy is out. I'm not seeing that, so let's start looking at the injury report. Did Utah play yesterday? No, they didn't. All right, Utah. I don't know. Yeah, Gobert is not out. At least he's not out yet. So, Hassan Whiteside day is not a day, guys. Sorry, chat. Wrong Rudy. Wrong Rudy. Well, he's not on the injury report right now. So, I'm going to go ahead and call that one a mistake. And I'm going to also give everyone the message right now that you should not go to DraftKings or FanDuel for your injury news. That is not a good source of information. It's like writing a term paper and using Wikipedia. So, please don't ever read anything on FanDuel or DraftKings. They have no incentive to be correct. I'm quite positive that now I'm going on this little rant that Rudy Gobert will ultimately be ruled out, but he is not on the NBA injury report, and that's really all that matters. Bum, bum, bum. All right. Well, I'm clearly not projecting Hassan Whiteside in because I don't know how I could justify that. So, diving in. Yeah, the right heel injury guy is Rudy Gay. So, guys, when you name these places that have them out, did you ever think maybe they subscribe to the same news service that made the mistake? Think about it. Think about it. They don't independently type this information in. They just get it from somewhere else. You can quickly figure out who pays for the same information from the same sources. Nobody types in accidentally Rudy Gobert being out across FanDuel, DraftKings, RotoWire. That's not how it works. I don't have anything to change for the Utah rotation. I think that we've established pretty clearly over the process last year and this year that Utah's rotation is the same every day. Now, it's possible that Royce O'Neal or Donovan Mitchell end up out, at which point we will cross that bridge on the deeper dive later today. But for right now, goodbye, Utah. Back to Atlanta. Yeah, I don't know if I'm allowed to say it like that. Let's walk through Atlanta, which is way more difficult. So this past game now, Gorgie Jang is slowly but surely leaving the rotation, and I assume we're getting more John Collins at the 5. Interesting to see. Could that just be an Atlanta thing? Probably not, because it's not like Gorgie Jang is that bad, but one rotation, Dunzo. And Clint Capella is off the floor after that, which is just a very small stretch. Clearly, John Collins played every other minute then at center. The question then becomes, why is it that Gorgie Jang is not in the rotation in the second half against Brooklyn, other than it's Brooklyn? And we don't have DeLon Wright in the rotation, which I don't understand. All right, I got to do this. ESPN, NBA for Utah. Rudy Gobert out on the injury report. That's hilarious. That's so funny. Yeah. Somehow they copied Rudy Gay's injury to Rudy Gobert. I actually thought Rudy Gay was supposed to be ready for this game, which is interesting. If Rudy Gobert had a heel injury, he'd be out for weeks. Dude's huge. Yeah, I hope they leave him in. By the way, I desperately wait for you guys to tweet at me and be like, hey, by the way, Rudy Gobert is out. But Mr. OG Crypto. Yeah, they can both have heel issues. Here's the issue. Rudy Gay is on the NBA's injury report. Rudy Gobert, nowhere to be found. However, Donovan Mitchell is on it. Royce O'Neal is on it. So they clearly updated everything, just not that, because it's not Rudy Gobert. Is Gorgie Jang just going to be out of the rotation? Actually, you know what? That makes sense. They've got so many guys now that it's easier to play John Collins more at the 5 and just go to more lineups with Reddish and Hunter and even Kevin Herter to a lesser degree. So let's take 4 minutes away from Jang. Josh Byers, I have no idea what you're talking about. No clue whatsoever. What was I just doing? Oh yeah, Atlanta, changing minutes. All right, so we're gonna give John Collins a little bit more at the 5. It seems like that's a direction they're going, so that we can bump up all of the other wing players, which is exactly what Atlanta should be doing. I like Gorgie Jang as a third center, or potentially a second if I'm on a shittier team, but I would be playing Clint Capella and John Collins every single minute at the 5 and try to play more of these wings. That's good. That's better for them down the line. All right, so 4 more minutes. DeAndre Hunter at 29. I need to make that 30. And then we're going to make that 18, 19, and 11. 3 more minutes. Cam Reddish played 18. Reddish seems to bounce between closing and not closing. I think 26 has to work. Kit Cloud Kicker. It's not a reporter's thing. It's just a news wire. They're just subscribed to a data service that provides information. It's like a plugin. You know, you click on a button and it just jams in whatever news blurb. So they're all just jamming in the same incorrect news blurb because whatever source that is, I think it's Stats, but I could be wrong. They copied Rudy Gay's injury designation. Adam, if they were going to trade, well, I don't even know if they can trade Marcus Smart this year. Did they extend him? If they did, he can't be traded for a year. I can't remember if they extended him or not, though. This should be 30. Delete. This should be 26. So who else got more time? All right, so Kevin Herter was back into the rotation. That's really good to know. This was just sort of like a one-off, which made sense to me. I didn't understand why he came out in the first place. 35 minutes for Trey seems fine. Should I have more than 30 to John Collins? I think the answer is pretty clearly yes. 31 to Collins. And now we're done for Atlanta. So we're done with Utah. We're done with Atlanta. 6 minutes to go until the 7 o'clock mark. 128 viewers, 61 likes. Half of you are not doing your jobs, people. Hit that thumbs up if you can. Haywood Vincent, good morning. Good to see you. All right, let's look at the Jazz. Assuming Donovan Mitchell and Royce O'Neal both play and that Rudy Gobert does not have the heel injury that everyone else thinks he has, I like Mitchell for 8K the most here on FanDuel. He's $1,400 more expensive on DraftKings. That's basically an impossible price for Mitchell. Gobert works across both sites. Royce O'Neal works as value on DraftKings. Mike Conley is $5,200 on FanDuel, $1,100 cheaper than he is on DraftKings. That's a great price for Conley. So, going to be getting to a lot here. If Rudy Gobert happens to be out, fire up your Hassan Whitesides, everybody. Money Jordan, what's going on? Winston-Salem in the house. I've only ever been there once. Went to a wedding. It's very nice. For Atlanta, Trae Young, 8,600 on FanDuel, looks great. 9,900 on DraftKings is a sharp price that's a little aggressive. 4K DeAndre Hunter on DraftKings is probably the best option you're going to get on DK. On FanDuel, $6,400 Clint Capella provides a very sizable ceiling. At 6,400, if we get 42 fantasy points, you're happy. There's no reason Clint Capella can't score 42 fantasy points. So, Bill, yeah, that's why I don't live in Pennsylvania anymore, man. I don't need those 25-degree days. All right, that's what we've got for Utah and Atlanta. Let us keep moving on to Boston and Miami. That'll be a fun one. I'm excited to watch this game. Don't like the ceiling on Hunter. Well, he's 4K, so the ceiling only needs to be 30-something. That's on a 5-gamer. I wouldn't worry too much about ceiling in that situation. On to the Boston Celtics. A little bit of turmoil, but picked up the win yesterday. Q tag on Al Horford for the back-to-back. Did he play their previous back-to-back? 30 days. September, April, June. So it's 31. No. Here was the back. Did not play this back-to-back. So I think we're going to have to assume Al Horford is not going to play this back-to-back. All right. Let's take out Al Horford. And let's think back to that day and what happened. So, Boston. Grant Williams played 25 minutes. I don't want to go too crazy, but I am going to bump him up to 24. We got 36 minutes out of Time Lord. I'm just going to make it 30. Did anyone play the nominal backup center? Yes. Jabari Parker got a rotation. Got legitimate backup time. I'm going to give Jabari Parker those 18 minutes. That might be the only change we need to make. Because Grant Williams isn't really playing a ton. I can't really give him anything other than just 3 rotations. 6, yeah. I feel comfortable with Schroeder at 31 if someone's going to be out. I feel comfortable with Marcus Smart at 33, although he's been playing 35 minutes a game, so I guess I'm not as comfortable. Let's make that a more realistic number. 36. We'll go 35 on Smart. I'm going to need to go to 35 on Jalen. 35 on Tatum. Jay Rich is playing a little bit more, played less in that game, but I think I could take him to 18 minutes. Oh, that's backwards. 15 and 20. 4 more minutes left over. And they can probably go just about anywhere. Romeo Langford's been playing a lot more. Who's been the guy losing those minutes? Because they're playing... That's a 10-man rotation. I have 9. Where are Romeo Langford's minutes coming? Oh, I guess Schroeder. So let's take those. We'll get Romeo Langford at least in the rotation. But I don't think Langford's going to be playing big minutes in games that aren't close. Grant Williams obviously was playing a little bit less. This game's going to be a little bit different. Yeah, the people that were saying Horford was washed were just not understanding the actual game itself. You got to understand the scenarios behind why he was playing like he was. One, he barely played last year. He missed the final 2/3 of the season. All right, Boston's minutes are in the books, and I think we're going to be getting to a lot of Bobby Will. On the Miami side, 7 a.m., 82 likes. Guys are breaking my heart today on this lovely, lovely Thursday. Don't understand why we're not at 100 already. Alrighty, Miami. I guess we're not making any changes to this Miami rotation. Any injury issues? No Oladipo, no Max Strus, KZ Okpala questionable. So exactly what we've already known. They did go to Caleb Martin with no Max Strus. That's who already has my minutes, so done. Let's look at Boston and Miami. Give me 1 second. I want to see... I gotta search something quickly. Search. I'll let you know when I'm searching in a second. Nothing. Didn't think so. I'll try this one. Nothing. All right, that works. Was checking different tweets. I cannot wait till Gobert is actually ruled out. It's going to be glorious. Should be glorious. All right, for Boston. Robert Williams is 6,100 on FanDuel and 5,800 on DraftKings if Al Horford is out for rest, and I am going to assume that he is. He is a fantastic play today. Marcus Smart is 5,500 on DraftKings. I don't mind that price. Jabari Parker is the flat min on DK. He got run the last time Horford sat. It's a 5-game slate, so value might be hard to find. If he's going to get 18 minutes again, or has just the potential behind a Robert Williams who could pick up some fouls, Jabari is going to look interesting. He could also just not play. I don't think that would be crazy. Tatum and Brown, we know what we're getting here. I don't have anything to add for those guys. I have them projected really well, and I still don't have a ton of interest. So, on the Miami side, $10,300 for Jimmy Butler. I cannot justify that. 9,600 on DraftKings. Better. Probably not my favorite guy in that range, but he looks better there. Kyle Lowry is 5,900 on FanDuel. He's $1,800 cheaper on FanDuel than he is on DraftKings. To discuss Kyle Lowry is a exercise in 2 separate sites. He looks good on FanDuel. He does not look good on DraftKings. Although, at 7,700, I still think that there's a ceiling to be had. 48, like, he can get to 48 at 7,700. It's just so much easier for him to get to 39 on FanDuel. Crazy. Bam looks good across both sites. 8,800, 8,100. I don't mind getting to someone like Bam. Tyler Hero, I mean, I've got him projected pretty well, but 6,400 and 6,700, you need a very specific day, which he's been doing. Duncan Robinson, PJ Tucker as, value punts, sure. 2 games to go, everybody. Ugh, I'm tired of talking about this Houston team. Yeah, Cantor, I get where you're coming from there. Houston Rockets, 10.5 point dogs in Phoenix. We've got Q tag on Daniel Tice. No Daniel House. Eric Gordon is playing. On the Phoenix side, Q tag on Ayton. Q tag on Cam Payne. We're going to have to look through a couple of these. What do we know on Tice? Questionable with a toe. What are the chances? Do we think Daniel Tice will play? I think we have to assume that he does. So I'm going to go down to 20 on Şengün. I need to get Daniel Tice in for 22 minutes. Because this seems like a one-off here for... what's his nuts? Tice. Couldn't even think of his name at this point. Oh, God, I need to drink more of this coffee. Garuba's not going to play. Kenyon Martin is going to play less. Jayshawn Tate in for 25 minutes. Let's make that 26. David Nwaba in for 16. Good. Eric Gordon's minutes look good. Oh, I'm good. So 14 and 13. Done. Yeah. Oh, nice. Houston went a little bit easier than I was expecting. I mean, Christian Wood, Jalen Green, Kevin Porter Jr. all playing monstrous minutes in this one is very interesting, but that's also with no Eric Gordon, no Daniel Tice. So if Tice ends up out, we're probably going to Şengün again, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Phoenix. Let's look at the blurbs on Cam Payne and Ayton. Sat out Tuesday. Probably doesn't play against the Rockets in this spot. Doesn't seem likely. I'm going to leave Ayton out. I feel more comfortable there. What about Cam Payne? Was limited to court work. Still not going through full contact 5-on-5. He's not playing either. All right, so we're going to maintain our thoughts on Phoenix that we had 2 days ago. JaVale is going to be in for starter run. Why did Kaminsky just get super hot? Because we need to make sure that we understand the game flow here. JaVale... Okay, so JaVale played a middle rotation and didn't close. And it wasn't foul related. So Kaminsky... Okay, so that makes sense. The Suns went on a run when JaVale came out. They staggered the rotations. Then Frank Kaminsky started the second half. They went to JaVale off the bench again. Oh, man. And then Kaminsky closed and they won. And he was second on the team in plus minus, 5 of 8 from the field, 6 of 6 from the line. Who do they play? Houston. So I would be surprised if they started Kaminsky. But going to that short JaVale rotation and then starting Kaminsky in the second half makes me nervous. I think the most important piece here is that they didn't go to Jalen Smith. So I'm going to go 24-24. And then I think that'll allow me to still get to both guys. Or maybe I'll go like 23-25. That'll lean me a little bit further towards Kaminsky. After that, we had no campaign. Elfrid Payton continues to just be the backup point guard. Devin Booker in for 35 minutes is fine. Mikal Bridges in for 33 seems fine. Abdel Nader basically didn't play, so let's bring those minutes down. Landry Shamet seems fine at 16. Jay Crowder is playing more minutes. I need to give him time. Let's get him up to 30. Although, honestly, it should probably be like 31, and that's probably why I haven't been getting Jay Crowder. Cam Johnson, 21, 23, something in that neighborhood. All right, everything works for Phoenix here. So let's look at Houston and Phoenix, because this, I think, is probably the linchpin game. These first three will lock at 7:30. We're going to have all the time in the world. Lesson quickly for everybody. If you're 150 max or no matter what you're doing, really, if you have access to an optimizer, I think this is very important, but you should be doing this no matter what. These three games are going to happen and are going to basically be done or close to done by the time you get to 10 o'clock. You're going to know what 50 to 75% of your lineup looks like. You should be re-optimizing everything based on actuals of this game instead of projections, and adjusting your lineups that are still live to be more optimal. This is a perfect opportunity. You basically have to play this slate twice. You play it to prep for 7 o'clock, and then once 7:30 hits, you just take your hands off the wheel for a bit, wait 2 hours, and get back into it at like 9:30. All right, so for Houston, Kevin Porter Jr. is 5,900 on FanDuel. Monster usage rate, even at 0.86, being like a little bit down so far this season. I love it. I like him for 6,400 on DraftKings too. Christian Wood is 7,900 on FanDuel. That's a pretty good price for Wood. 8,800 on DraftKings is a little bit tougher to get to. If Tice plays, I have a little bit of interest, although he's been really bad this year. There's not too much else here for Houston. I thought that they were going to look like better values, but they don't. So I guess I hope Tice is out. But Şengün's 5,100 on FanDuel, not as interesting. 4,100 on DraftKings, much more interesting, particularly on a 5-gamer. Now for Phoenix, and by the way, thank you guys for getting us up over 100 likes. 165 concurrent too. Cheers. Yeah, let me retweet this too. Like or retweet. Maybe I'll get some couple extra stragglers in. I also have a sneeze in the chamber that I'm hoping doesn't pop up. Nope, it's coming. One and done. Got to the mute button as fast as I could. All right, here we go. So let's remember here. We're assuming DeAndre Ayton does not play in this game. Same situation for campaign. If that's the case, I'll start here. 5,200 on FanDuel, 5,100 on DraftKings. I like Mikal Bridges. I think he's a really good play. I like Devin Booker for 8,200. I'm a little less interested in Chris Paul, but nothing too crazy. I think he still looks okay at 7,800 on FanDuel. This is where we get into it. Frank Kaminsky is 4,400 on FanDuel, 3,500 on DK. You can very easily go to Kaminsky, and you don't even really have to stress whether or not he starts or JaVale starts. JaVale is 4,300 on FanDuel, 3,900 on DraftKings. Another situation where I don't think you really need to stress the starters. The starter will look better, but I don't think you need to worry about it too much. I think you have to play both guys. And for Kaminsky and JaVale, if Ayton is out, the fact that it's Houston makes me a little nervous, but I'll say this. People will ask. I have no issue playing Kaminsky and JaVale together. Like, to me, you can have those guys in the same lineup, and I think that's fine. On DraftKings in particular, it's a little bit worse on FanDuel because the prices are 4,400 and 4,300. I still think it's fine on a day like today because you're basically buying the center spot for, let's just say you're buying those two spots on FanDuel for 8,700. but they're projected at like a 1.1 something fantasy point per minute guy. That's not, it's like the same as Devin Booker to a degree. So we'll want to know the starter, and that'll probably dictate like the main push you'll do at 10. I would want to have a cross section of both guys immediately out of the gate, assuming Ayton doesn't play. But I don't hate the idea of getting 55 and a half out of this $8,700 player across 2 spots. Like, there's no reason that those guys can't go for 70 total, other than the fact that Kaminsky's not very good, but he's still a fantasy point per minute guy. All right, let's close this one out. Oklahoma City at the Lakers. These two late night hammers are real hammers to the face, because Oklahoma City and Houston are the two most tank-tastic teams in the league right now, and you can't trust them for anything. Q-tag on Lou Dort. We're just going to move. Actually, last time they played and I projected them, he was out. So let's look at Dort's blurb. Questionable against the Lakers. Missed the game on Monday. No way that we can really look into that. I don't have anything that I could add with regards to Dort. On the Lakers, we have Q-tag on LeBron, probable for AD. That's all fine. No Ariza, no Nunn, no Horton Tucker. Q-tag on Dwight again. Do we have any update on Dwight? All right. I really don't know what to do with Dort. I feel like I should be putting him back in, and I am going to do that. So I don't want to be getting to potential Oklahoma City value plays that I don't really want. So let's go ahead and take those minutes, and that gets me 20 right out of the gate to Dort. I need 10 more. Ty Jerome can give up a lot of time. That's for sure. 21 and 9. That gets me to 30 on Dort. Josh Giddey in for 31. I'm fine with that. 33 for Shea. Fine with that. Teo Maledon, backup run. Fine with that. Jeremiah Robinson-Earl seems to play about 22 minutes a game. That works. Muscala got dusted off for more minutes as of late. We'll see how I need to deal with that. Derek Favors is not playing much. Baisley's minutes are firm. Poku's minutes are probably a bit too high. So I'm going to get Muscala up to 18. We'll do 6 and 22. We'll do 15 and 16. Oh, just 1 minute short on somebody. Ty Jerome, you can just get a spillover minute. That's easy enough. Go to 17 and 14. Done. OKC in the books. We'll close it out with the Lakers, which I assume we're not going to make any real changes to. I'm going to have AD starting at the 5. I'm going to maintain no Dwight. Tom Melton, good morning. I'm going to maintain no Dwight for right now. DeAndre Jordan getting the backup center run in this spot. That's just the way that they're going to do it. Straight split, both games. No worries there. Rondo's been out of the rotation. So 2 firm rotations here from the Lakers. I am going to take a minute away from every star. I'm going to go... Well, I only got LeBron in for 34 right now, so that's fine. But I don't want to project them the full way right now. I think that's a mistake. All right, so we need to get... Avery Bradley has played 30 and 28 minutes over the past couple, so we're going to bump him up to 27. Probably I get to 28. I think that's the most likely scenario. 3. That should be 32 and 3. So I got 1 minute left over. But I got to shift everybody down. So that should be Austin Reeves with 20. I've got Avery Bradley at 28. Let's move 17-3, 5 minutes from LeBron. So 19 and 15. All right, so I got 4 minutes left over. Who needs them? Not Monk. Hasn't played as much over the past 2 games. Not Bradley. Not Bazemore. Not who does? Wow, where should those 4 minutes go? Who do I have under projected? I guess the Stars, but I don't think that's all that interesting. I mean, Bazemore, I guess, in theory, could probably go to 27. He's been playing 28 minutes a game. Melo, I guess, can go to 27. That's not fun. 2 minutes left over. I'm just going spill over to Rondo. And now, what up, Crispy One? Let's look at this final game. Oklahoma City. Oh, boy, this team. So, assuming Dort plays, should I really have Kenrich Williams in there for 27 minutes? I think that's a mistake that I just missed. Yeah, it is. I got to fix that. Kenrich Williams played 22 minutes here. We got to take him down to 21. That is not going to work. Ty Jerome gets the other 7. And now we're square. All right, let's look at Oklahoma City again now without the crazy value play of Kenrich Williams. Lou Dort is the play in this game, I think. 4,800 on FanDuel, 4,400 on DraftKings. But when I say the play, I mean, like, nothing looks good. Josh Giddey, 5,800 on DraftKings. Or you're punting with, like, the true garbage. Jeremiah Robinson Earl, Kenrich Williams, both 3,500 and 3,200. Just try to avoid Oklahoma City. They look bad. Finally, for the Lakers, I like AD the most, as I usually do. I think it's Russ on FanDuel because he's $900 cheaper than LeBron. I think it's LeBron ahead of Russ on DraftKings. I can't imagine playing Russ for 10-7 on DK unless somebody gets left out of this one. It's a perfect spot to sit somebody. Avery Bradley's the flat 3K. He's terrible in a fantasy sense. 0.46 FanDuel, 0.46 FanDuel points per minute so far this season. But if he's playing 28 minutes a game, like, he's going to fall into it every once in a while. Let's look at optimals because I don't have a good feel for this slate. I hope you guys do. All right. I just got to look at one thing quickly. I want to make sure that my schedule is correct for today, in my mind. All right, it is. So for those of you that are normally going to watch me on the NBA Strategy Show, I am not on that anymore on Thursdays. I am doing the deeper dive. I'm a madman streaming this early every day, man. Monday through Friday. This is the way to do it. All right, this isn't going to save. Continue. There we go. No errors detected. Perfect. First copy. Optimal lineup on FanDuel. Although apparently I'm on DraftKings here, so remind me to clear those projections because that's incorrect. Let's try this again. Optimal lineup on FanDuel. If you haven't hit the like button yet, this is what you should be hitting the like button for. This is the Cliff Notes. What do we got? 325.1 at the top. Trae Young, Kyle Lowry, Donovan Mitchell, Josh Giddey, Kevin Porter Jr., Mikal Bridges, Robert Williams, Frank Kaminsky, Joel Embiid. So no JaVale. We go to Embiid. I'm cool with it. Just dropped 55 on the Pistons a week ago. I'd be fine with that on this 5-gamer. So I have no problems with this lineup. If you want to drop down 0.8 of a point, you swap out Mitchell for Devin Booker, and that's it. Yeah, Adam, that UFC card on Saturday looks like it's going to be great. I can't wait to watch that. All right, power rankings on FanDuel. It's Jets Colts tonight. Oh man, I got to do my contenders videos for the NFL. I didn't know what the game was. Not gonna lie, that is really taking a bite out of my momentum. All right, power rankings stabilizing pretty well. And who's it going to be? Joel Embiid, Mikal Bridges, Kevin Porter Jr., Donovan Mitchell, Robert Williams, Kyle Lowry, Anthony Davis, Josh Giddey, Trae Young, Russell Westbrook, Devin Booker, Bam Adebayo, Tyrese Maxey, and Jason Tatum. Those are your power rankings on FanDuel. We now move it over to DraftKings. On DK, optimal lineup. Devin Booker, Mikal Bridges, Josh Giddey, Frank Kaminsky, Bam, Lou Dort, AD, and JaVale. By almost a point and a half over my next lineup. That's not what I was expecting. 4 Suns isn't crazy to me. I don't mind going to Kaminsky and JaVale in cash. Oh, boy. Oh, Bob. Oh, Bob. Booker, Bridges, Kaminsky, McGee. Yeah, I mean, no part of that. The Lou Dort piece sucks, but at the same time, he is 4,400. The model of consistency, 21, 21, 24, 21, 26, 20. I mean, this dude just has the same game over and over and over again. At some point in time, he's going to put a couple pieces together. All right, power rankings on DraftKings before we close this one out. Let's see what we got. I don't really like Lou Dort popping up this high. So I'd like for him to fall so people can't give me nonsense. I don't know how good of a job the Bulls could have done on Embiid if they lost yesterday. I'll take 18, 9, and 7 and a win. All right. Power rankings on DraftKings. Frank Kaminsky, Mikal Bridges, JaVale McGee, Josh Giddey, Bam Adebayo, Joel Embiid, Trae Young, Sadiq Bey, Jeremy Grant, Lou Dort, Kevin Porter Jr., Tyrese Maxey, AD, and Donovan Mitchell. Guys, we have reached the end of the road. Full screen camera. That's it, everybody. Another process in the books. One more to go this week. All we've got is tomorrow. Thank you for joining me. Please hit that like button as you walk out the door. Good luck tonight. Again, no strategy show for me, just deeper dive. I will see you guys later. We'll be back again tomorrow, 6:30 a.m.